Hi, this is Gabe Newell. I work at Valve.
Gabe N, G-A-B-E-N.
Hi.
My username is gaben at valvesoftware.com, and my password is MooleyFTW. And steal my account if you can. It's just me, Gabe Newell.
Hi, my name is Eric Johnson, and today I'm going to take you around Valve.
Valve Corporation is a video game developer and digital distribution company based in the state of Washington, USA. It was founded in 1996 by Gabe Newell and Mike Harrington, who had both left their jobs at Microsoft to start something a bit cooler and trendier.
Okay, Mike, this isn't working. So, that's what I get for working at Microsoft.
Valve achieved a considerable amount of success with the release of their first-person shooter Half-Life in 1998, and its subsequent sequels and spin-offs, as well as a variety of other critically acclaimed video games that the company has developed for both PC and consoles. However, it is Valve's digital content store and gaming platform Steam which has since come to be their most successful offering. Since Steam's release in 2003, it has now become the largest online gaming distributor, having an estimated 75% share of the market in PC games purchased online, giving it a 15% market share of all PC games purchased in total, a $3.5 billion figure worth of sales through the platform annually. Perhaps the most shocking thing about the company is that there are no bosses or hierarchy involved in the organisation of the business, with a system that allows employees to choose which projects they wish to work on themselves.
Like, we have no managers of any kind. There's no structure to the internal structure to the company. There's just a bunch of people who work there. And alongside that, the facts that go with that are that nobody has a job title and nobody even has a job description. So we hire a bunch of smart people and we put them into a big soup, and we all manage to get really good work done. And that's interesting. And we have built up a bunch of methods for making that not fall apart and just devolve into chaos. And those are the things we like to talk about. So the book, I'll give you an overview of what the book is in a pretty quick way. It talks about things like how we put product teams together and have them sit in a common area. We call them cabals. They're multidisciplinary groups. They're engineers, artists, animators, even finance people, and everybody in one area, combining their efforts to make one product at a time. We found that to be the method just for space planning that works really well for us, and it fosters all kinds of good collaboration. The book talks about how we hire people, but really it focuses on how important, at a place that has no structure, how important hiring is. And we say that it's the most important thing in the universe. You thought you were hired to do one thing, and that sure is important work, but it is eclipsed by the importance of your work when it comes time to hire someone. And we all work on recruiting and interviewing and hiring, and it's really job one. Further on the hiring score, it also talks about the kinds of people who are successful at Valve and who we look for when we're trying to hire new people. And we use this shorthand we call successful Valve people T-shaped. And briefly, that just means that they're world-class at some deep skill set, something that they focus on and they're incredibly skilled at. But then they have a broad range of ancillary skills that are really important to augmenting that core skill. And that idea, the way of describing that, isn't something that we came up with on our own. It actually was Tim Brown, the CEO of IDEO. But we loved it so much, we've stolen it and tried to make it our own. It also talks about career growth and how at a place that doesn't have structure or titles or anything, what does it mean for me to join the company? You know, I was planning on being a director of films in Hollywood in 5 years, but I'm not going to have an advancement that's very clear to outside people. So what does that mean for me? And the answer, in a very brief way, is that the actual career growth in an environment like Valve's is incredibly accelerated, and it's something that allows people to make progress exactly limited only by their own desire and ability. And that when you spend time at Valve, you end up being enormously empowered, and you grow really a lot faster than you would if you were following a more traditional ladder. It also talks about how much responsibility comes with these kinds of things, and how when you don't have somebody overseeing your work or checking your work or signing off on it, that really it all comes down to your own decision making, and that you have the power to ship all kinds of things to customers by yourself, and that can be pretty daunting. And it talks about how to deal with that and how to use Valve's people to not really feel like you're just on your own. A couple other things it mentions are how we evaluate each other. So another outgrowth, I mean, it's a product of not having managers, is that there isn't one person who is gauging your success or deciding whether you have done the right thing this month or this year. So we have developed something that we use the same name that other people do called stack ranking, but we have a pretty different method that's entirely peer-driven for getting that work done, and it even is tied to compensation. So your peers are deciding whether you've done a good enough job to earn more money this year.
It's clear that something is working very well inside Valve, as the company is estimated to be worth between $2 and $4 billion, with its founder Gabe Newell elevated to an almost godlike status. However, the system is not without its critics, although many of the employees seem to be very satisfied with the way that the company is being run. Former employee Jerry Ellsworth has criticized the structure for only really being effective in small groups when running a project, with a de facto system of influence and popularity when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Valve is also known for taking a very long time to develop their games, due to being more focused on quality and less on deadlines as a traditional gaming developer is, possibly as a result of their unusual organizational structure. Nonetheless, to this day, Valve is very well respected amongst gaming critics and fans for their consistent level of quality, and their success has also been speculated to give them the ranking of highest profitability per employee out of any company in the USA, so they must be doing something right. But what do you think? Could this kind of structure work in any other sector, even in any other business? Does it apply to startups in the same way that it does to this billion-dollar company? Well, that's for you to think about.